Hey, Miles here, milesbecker.com. This video is all about reputation management. You're going to learn a 3-step process to manage and maintain your reputation online, whether you're a small business, a local business, or if you're doing the creator thing and you've got a personal brand and you're putting out content. Your reputation online is in jeopardy more today than it ever has been before. People are armed with the Web 2.0 user feedback revolution, and we've all got supercomputers in our pocket with our phones. So people are armed and ready, and oftentimes they pull out their sniper rifle of negative reviews when they've had a bad experience. And kind of counter to that, it usually takes a lot of encouragement in order to get the positive reviews out. So what we're going to talk about is what you can do at the various phases from that lens of content creator and personal brand and or also the local business. So part one is to monitor what's going on. So if you're a content creator, as you get larger, there's a couple of things. Well, number one, there's slander, right? People can just flat out talk smack, but also there's trend jacking. When you start to get more of an audience and you start to get searched and your brand starts to get searched, people will start to make up things that maybe aren't true to stuff them in a headline of a video just to start to hopefully show up when other people search your name. That's called trend jacking. That's really common. And then on the other side, for local businesses, reviews are driving everything. Now, Yelp is on a major decline right now. They've had some big time problems. They've had some kind of pay to remove the negative reviews, and it's kind of a really difficult closed system, but the Google review system is on the come up, and it's getting more and more important every single day. So the number one thing you need to do is be monitoring what's going on around your brand, around your business name, etc. I personally use and love Google Alerts. If you go to google.com/alerts, you can put in your brand name, you can put in your name, whatever it is that you're monitoring, and Google will notify you via email every single time a new mention hits the search engines. So anything that gets indexed on Google that has your brand or your name in it, it'll fire you off an email so you can then go take appropriate action, which we'll talk about here in the future. So there's some other tools that you can leverage. If you're a YouTuber, TubeBuddy does have a feature to where you can monitor your brand. It will also send you emails. But if you're someone who wants a more on-demand solution that you can sit down and go search, I've got a list of them right down here. I'm gonna go through a few of them. Socialmention.com is a free one where you can just search, and it's a very raw list. It's not very clean and organized, but it's free, which is great. So that's socialmention.com. Also mention.com and brandmentions.com. Those are getting into the paid ones. And if you're running a business, a medium size or a larger business, you might want to consider getting one of those because you probably don't have time to go back to the tool over and over and over. You need to set it up to monitor everywhere and notify you. For a small business, you have employees, and these employees are essentially the name and the face of your brand in that moment that the customer is interacting with them. You can't always be there. You can't always control all of the situations. And oftentimes as business owners, we know that our employees don't take that same level of love and attention and care for our product line, for our business, for our brand, etc. And that can reflect upon your brand negatively, which is why you must be monitoring the situations. And since you can't be there for every conversation, this is one of the ways to get that feedback loop open, is monitoring. And then finally, search your brand, search your company, search your business exactly how a user would. Go to Google if it's a Google search, right? Take the time to go look at Yelp. If you're in a tourist area, go search on TripAdvisor. See what comes up for your brand name. You need to put yourself in the shoes of your best prospects to see what is going on. And I think you need to go back to that regularly, whether you're using a social monitoring or even a Google Alerts style tool or not, because you just always got to pay attention to what's going on. So that's the monitor phase, right? You want to set up systems, and you just need to flat out go back to it time and time again to see what's going on. Number two is prevention, right? So first is monitoring, then there is the prevention phase. Now, for me, with my brand, the Miles Becker brand, I have been curating the first page of Google for my name for many years. And this has been conscious. And the whole adage of an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure is 100% true here in the world of reputation management. A lot of people who will be looking for this video or finding this video, I'd be curious if right now, let me know in the comments, do you currently have kind of a reputation crisis that you're trying to avert? If so, let me know in the comments. I can do more videos on that. We'll get into that a little bit here, but it's one of those things, if you're thinking about this before you actually need it, you have a better likelihood of preventing any of this from really becoming an issue. So one situation I know arose with a friend of mine in New Mexico. They got some negative press. They're a business owner, and it went out on the PR newswire. It got picked up by some local news agencies and some local news websites, and that was all bad, right? And then those hit really high up on the search engines, and this individual didn't have a lot of assets on that first page that have been kind of aged, right? They didn't have the basics of their domainname.com, their Facebook fan page, their Facebook account, their Twitter account, their Medium account, and all those other social accounts, essentially stuffing them up, plus doing search engine optimization, building a little bit of links to those and optimizing each one of those for that phrase. So when the negative press came out, it went straight to page one for their name. They had nothing really, they had very little recourse they could do in that moment. Yet, had they spent time beforehand creating the assets needed to prevent this, that would have gone a long way. So what can you do to prevent? Well, number one is you need to go get every single social account and social profile you possibly can for your brand name. The ones that you use and the ones that you don't use. On a medium.com, go put up one Medium post on your medium.com. I've got one on Quora, right? I've got an Quora account, which is a question and answer website. I've answered many questions. I put up one blog post on Quora. That's what you need to do. You need to put out enough content on each of these to make sure that you're seeding the actual platforms with enough kind of data around you that Google picks it up, right? So my Quora page will rank in Google. My Facebook account ranks in Google. My Twitter account ranks in Google. My Medium account ranks in Google. And what I've been doing, my YouTube account, and on and on and on, including my milesbeckler.com blog. So what I've been doing is literally, if you go look at the first 2 pages for my name, I've really curated and crafted what shows up there consciously. And I've got other social accounts that are even built that don't show up and don't rank well. I'm willing to go put all of those social accounts together, and then I link them all together in order to really increase the authority of each one of those social profiles. They rank well, and that's what you want to do to really get these things going. If you're a local business owner, you want to go claim your page, claim your account on Yelp, on Google reviews, on TripAdvisor, anywhere that local people will be reviewing your restaurant or local business, whatever it is that you're doing. You need to make sure you go claim each and every one of those listings. They're called. Really good habit to do when you do this. Make sure that your phone number is correct, make sure your address is correct, and then also make sure the link to your website is correct. That's a good citation for your business. And if you have not yet gone through the full process of google.com/business, do so. Go verify your account through google.com/business. That's the process when you go find your Google reviews. So how do you do that if you're a small business? Well, go search for your business name, see what review sites come up, click on them, and they all have a claim this listing link. It might be a little bit different wording, but they all say somewhere on there, claim this listing, and you essentially go verify yourself. You verify yourself as the business owner. Google will go as far as mailing you a postcard in the mail to your physical address to make sure you really actually are at that location. So this helps you rank better on the map, which is great, but it also puts you in more control so you can leave owner feedback, which we're going to get to in the next phase. That's part 3, but you need to go claim everything first and foremost, and then fill out your profile, right? Write about who you are and what you do, fill all that information out. When you own these and when you've claimed them, they have a higher likelihood of ranking higher, which again can have a higher likelihood of pushing down that negative press there. Any opportunities you have for solid PR in your community, if you're doing good work in your community, make sure that the local journalists know about it. If you're running a fundraiser, if you have something going on in your local community, your local news outlets always need things to talk about. And when you reach out and say, hey, I work with this local business, we're doing this over here, we're gonna be at the soup kitchen from this time to that time. If you guys are interested in featuring it, we'd love to get a mention in your news. I love your news broadcast. Those types of mentions, when you push them forward first, can also help add that positive press onto the first pages of Google. So when people search for you, you're kind of curating what is showing up on that first page of Google. So there's lots of different social accounts that you can get today. It's going to change what is popular in the months, weeks, years to come. Always stay on top of it. Always when you see or hear of a new social network or a new app that people are using, get in, make sure you claim your business's name, your brand name. You want to protect that in every way, shape, or form that you can. And an ounce of prevention is definitely worth more than a pound of cure. Number three is controlling the situation. Unfortunately, a lot of people, as I mentioned earlier, get to this point where they're kind of in crisis management mode with this. So what can you do? The first thing you need to realize is that it's impossible. It's not technically impossible, but it's so difficult to potentially remove anything from the search engines, like actually have it removed, that it's not even worth trying. Same with social. People are allowed their voice in this world that we live in today. And again, we've all been armed with supercomputers, with all these review apps that people are more willing to leave those negative reviews, and you're not going to get a review taken down very often. So what can you do in this situation? Well, number one is be transparent and respond. I believe that, and I've seen this time and time again, when I go search for a business or I go search for something and I'm looking at the reviews and it's like 3.5-star review. I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that, but I click and I see that owner has responded personally to every single review. They're saying thank you to the positive reviews, and then they're also going into the negative reviews and they're actually stepping up, they're apologizing, and they're putting forth a solution. That's what I want to see as a consumer. So if you have been plagued by some negative reviews, some negative comments, make sure you are engaging. And when you engage respectfully, especially if you are a content creator. The trolls will come out of the woodwork and they will talk smack about you. They will make up things. They will put words in your mouth. And we often want to let them know how big of a POS we think they are. But if you feed the trolls, it's just going to get worse. That's exactly what they want. So be respectful, be transparent, but engage. Engage in a way that moves your case forward. Engage in a way that's transparent. Recently, I had a video come out that's doing a bit of trend jacking. They're trying to take advantage of my name. They made it sound like I said something I didn't in their title. Well, what did I do? I can't get the video removed. I can't get any of this removed. So I went through and I responded to every single comment in their thread, right? So I have the ability, just like all of the users in the world have the ability to leave comments as well. So every time somebody had a question about it or was like, wow, I didn't know they thought that way about you, I was able to go clarify and say, actually, if you watch my original source, I never said that, right? They're putting words into my mouth. And it gave me the opportunity to kind of at least refute where that conversation is taking place. And again, I did so in as respectful of a manner as possible, because if I come at them aggressively, the odds are that my comments are going to get deleted, and that does not serve a purpose. That does not solve a problem. And if you're a local business owner and potential prospects and potential customers see that you're engaging combatively with past customers who had a challenging situation, that's a gigantic turnoff, and they will not do business with you. But when they see that you've taken time to respond intelligently, coherently, and you've put forth a solution, a potential solution, like, hey, my name's Miles, I'm the manager down here. If you come in and reference this, I will take care of you. I'm so sorry to hear about that situation that occurred. I want to learn more because I want to fix this, because I'm always engaged in making my business better. Please give me a call, email me, or come by the shop so I can make this situation right. When I, as a consumer, see that kind of a response from a business owner on a review, I'm much more willing to ignore that 1-star and 2-star review, because I know that owner stands behind what they do. This is so powerful. I think it's a very small thing, but I think it means more and more every single day. You know, people are more willing to leave negative reviews. And this kind of goes over on the control of, we need to incentivize people and we need to ask people to leave positive reviews. As a business owner, there's ways you can incentivize this. Number one is you can run contests. You can run local contests where they can enter their email for an attempt or an opportunity to win a $50 gift card to whatever it is that you do. If you're a restaurant, you know you got about 25% food costs, so there's actually a pretty good deal. And odds are 20% or so of people won't even claim or use that actual gift card. So you have them give you their email address in exchange for the actual opportunity to win that thing. Then you email them and let them know, once you've added them to the monthly contest, the monthly drawing, you let them know in an email, hey, I've got you added to the monthly drawing. We announce who wins on March 1st or whatever it is, right? Then how was your experience? Did you have a great experience? If so, leave us a quick review and make that a link to your Google review listing, to your TripAdvisor listing, to whatever listing is most valuable to you. These are ways that you can obtain the email address. You're starting to grow a little bit of an email list, and then you're able to prompt people if they had a great experience to leave that review. If anything went wrong, you can add this below in your email. If anything went wrong or you need help rectifying any situation, just reply, "I'm here to help." This way, you might be able to get them to reply to you instead of going and burning you on the review site. And you might be just giving them that nudge to go add that 5-star review, helping you collect more reviews. People really do need to be prompted to leave the positive reviews. We'll walk out of a store, we'll walk out of a restaurant, think, "Man, that was the best, that was awesome." But we don't necessarily always think, "I'm going to go leave them a positive review," unless it was over the top. A little bit of coaxing, even if the server, as they drop off the credit card and the bill, says, "You know, we really, really value your opinion. And if you had a good experience, I'd love for you to go leave us a quick review on Google. It takes 60 seconds. That'd be awesome." You can even print out your Google review. You can make a short link, a bit.ly link to your Google review page, and you can put that on the receipt as well. There's a lot of little hacks. You just got to start to think a little bit more consciously of how can you, within the way your business works, right? That printed out receipt is something that you receive. Can you go in and customize a couple of lines on that through your POS so every receipt you hand out actually prompts people to go leave a positive review, and it gives them instructions on how to handle negative issues, right? If you have any questions or need support, email us here. If you had a great experience, go to google.com/us in order to leave us a positive review. We appreciate your business. Those little notes done consistently over long periods of time can create very, very, very positive results. All in all, you can't stop the reviews. Web 2.0, the Web 2.0 revolution that happened many years ago was essentially the technology that allowed you and me to go leave comments on demand, show them up on third-party websites. Before that, it was all static. Everyone who sold something, they were able to tell you the story they wanted to tell you, and that's it. We consumers did not have the ability to go engage and share our thoughts without creating an entire website around it. Today, the comments, the reviews, all of these kind of technologies are in place, mixed with the cell phone revolution. Now we have the ability to go engage in a massive way, and that for some businesses is causing all kinds of problems. And if you ignore it, those problems are going to compound, and more every single day. The businesses that have the 4.5, 4.8, 5-star reviews are getting more customers walking in their doors than the businesses that have the 2 and 3-star reviews. I believe it was P.T. Barnum who has that kind of old quote of "all press is good press." I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. But you can't control everything. If you've written a book as an author on Amazon reviews, on your Kindle reviews, some people are just going to trash your book. If you go look at the best-selling books of all time, go look at the Harry Potter CD or series of books, there's just people who hate it. There's 1-star reviews even for great books. So it's going to happen, but see, where can you engage? How can you engage in a way that's transparent, that's authentic, that's honest, and helps move things forward? And if anyone's had a problem and they're flaming you in the reviews because of an issue, then you really need to make sure that you're presenting an opportunity and a path to rectify their solution inside of those review sites, because that's going to help you recover from that negative kind of issue. If you've got a bunch of negative press showing up on the first page of Google, or if people are just talking smack about you on YouTube and you search for your name or your brand and there's more bad phrases than good ones, you need to begin creating the content and optimizing the content in a way that's going to outrank them. So you might need to go claim a Medium account and write a bunch of Medium posts about who is Miles Beckler if I wanted to really take over farther on my name. So I've got the Miles Beckler Medium account, and then I do a Miles Beckler post on Medium that has a much higher likelihood of ranking above some random third-party person who just starts one account one day to put out some spammy posts there. It's these kinds of things. You actually need to create more positive, higher ranking content in order to push down off the first page any negative press that's on the first page. So that's ultimately what you do. So if in the number 4 and number 5 spot there's negative press about you, you need to go create 6 or 7 new posts and new they could be platforms, they could be accounts on social platforms. You need to create the pieces of content and the web properties that are going to outrank those 2 negative press items, so you push them down onto the second page and you keep pushing them down till they're on the 3rd page and the 4th page, and by the time they hit the 3rd page, they're pretty much in internet oblivion, because very few people go beyond page 2 of Google. Most people don't even hit page 2 of Google. So you physically have to push them down by doing more SEO on more properties that you own and control, whether it's on your blog, your YouTube channel, or you're going out to Medium, to Quora, to these other platforms, you're getting Twitter accounts, and you're actually actively creating more properties that will rank above those. That's really the game. I hope all is well. If you have questions about the process, let me know in the comments below. I thank you very much for your time. It's really key to think about this before, but if you're at a point where you're having a crisis, if you need some help, let me know. I can possibly help a little bit, but I've kind of laid out the whole plan here for you. So just move forward. Remember, transparency is the power in this age. Be available to communicate with those people who are talking about you. Use the tools like socialmention.com and Google Alerts so you get notified and so you can keep tabs on what's going on, and then be a real person. Engage. Always be there to help. Having great customer service is something we need to do in the store, but it's something we need to do on the review sites as well. And if you have low reviews, encourage people to leave you positive reviews, and going in and replying to those low reviews can actually help you kind of at least save your brand. Even though those review numbers are low, when I see that you've responded, you've engaged, you put a path to rectify the situation there, you make me more confident as a potential consumer to show up to your store because I know you stand behind what you do. That's it. Thanks again for your time. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.